You are looking at the business end of my rifle. I've gotten some messages, some requests on my setup and my rig from other quadriplegics and disabled veterans that want to see what I got and how I'm shooting and all the different things I've learned in the past 3 years. So let's first off start with the rifle itself, the foundation. It's a SRC carbon fiber Wyndham Weaponry AR-15. It's chambered in 223 or 5.56, and it is one sweet shooting gun. I've had no misfires, no jams, no failure to feeds after the first 3 magazines. There was a slight break-in process, but after I got it broke in, all was well. So about 90 rounds and it was good. She was broke in. I've never had any problems since. Cheap ammunition, TEL ammo, Russian made, runs great. So let's start down here first. You do see a green laser on the bottom of the handguard there. It is a UTG Pro. I have all the model numbers and specifications on this stuff. If you guys want it, just message me. I can get more detailed, but this video would be probably 2 hours long. So UTG Pro, green laser. I have that sighted in at 25 yards. Stock muzzle brake. Up here, a rapid deployed Ruger pop-up sight. It's a 15-inch handguard from Leap Years. I'm going to try shooting this video and the train's going to go by. It hasn't been by all day. But it's a 15-inch UTG Pro. It's actually considered a 2-piece drop-in handguard. It's actually 3 pieces. You have your top piece, which is solid, and then you got that piece right there. It's a 7-inch piece that pops up in between the delta ring and the gas block, and then you got this piece down here that just bolts on. So it's actually 3-piece. Sorry about that, I had to take a little break there, let the train go by. Okay, so one thing I want to go over, because I think it's super important, is the trigger. Wyndham Weaponry puts an 8.5 pound trigger on their rifles, which is the only downside to this rifle. What you're seeing there is a Timney, T-I-M-N-E-Y, drop-in trigger. It's 3 pounds. And wow, it makes a huge difference. So, you know, once you get set up, it's a pretty pricey investment. It's about $200 for that trigger. I'd get one because it makes the world of difference. The safety is ambidextrous, and we're going to go over that a little bit more in detail later. In the back here, I have a single point ambidextrous. It clamps to the buffer tube, and we'll go over that a little bit more later. And then on the back there, you see a Ruger quick deploy backup sight, a 1-inch riser, and on top of it, we have an NC Star 4x32 optic. Now, I get knocked a lot going to gun shops with an NC Star optic, but I'm going to tell you right now, if you're shooting within 200 yards, this optic is fine. There's a guy that I was down in Seymour, Indiana, and he said, an NC Star, he said, that's a piece of junk. I said, oh, it is? He said, yeah, he said, if you were in Afghanistan and you had that thing on your M16 and you were bouncing it off the side of a rock mountain. He said that thing would not hold up. And I said, you know what? I'm not in Afghanistan. I'm in Indiana, and I'm not roping down the side of a mountain. I'm in a wheelchair. The thing works just fine. It's illuminated, which does come in handy. And like I said, it's just 4 power, fixed. Right now, that scope is sighted in at 50 yards, and I think I'm just going to leave it there for now. And we'll get into that a little bit more later. I got some new shooting videos coming up, so you're going to see kind of why I'm leaving that at 50 yards. But that's pretty much it on the rifle. Let's talk about stocks. Alright, so stocks are super important when it comes to if you're quadriplegic or you got, you know, some type of a disability and you do need to modify the stock. It's very important. So over the years I've learned quite a bit. This was the first modification I did to the stock. Okay. What this black piece is it's a cheek piece. It'll raise your cheek up off the stock if you need your cheek raised. It's just snaps onto the top of most any stock, and it's a cheek guard. So what I did is I got that off eBay. Then I got a piece of wood from the neighbor, put some sandpaper tape on there, and bolted that down. Now, it worked great, but it kept the rifle way too low. And I'll roll in some video of me shooting with the stock. It was okay, but I couldn't really see down the scope. But the rifle and my face was way too far apart. It was a good ideal, but it wasn't really quite it. So the next was just a piece of conduit. We put some sandpaper tape on it, drilled a little hole in it, slid it into the back of my factory stock with a zip tie, and it worked great. It worked way better than this one. Way better. It actually got the rifle right where I needed it. The only problem is the pipe itself was a little bit too small diameter. So a buddy of mine and I, the contractor actually, we went to Menards and we bought some conduit. And here's my stock, factory Wyndham weaponry stock, which works great. This pipe was the perfect size. Put some sandpaper tape on it, drilled a hole in it, zip tied it. And that thing works great. So let's move on. This is something that you can buy from a place here in northern Indiana. And all it does is it holds the muzzle weight up for you. And I'll roll in some video of the rifle on it. This attaches to my knee abductor. It's got a clamp on it, and it's got 4 holes in top, so it can be zip tied down to the knee abductor. And I'll put a picture in there with my handgun on it, because a lot of people are going to wonder what that weird pipe is that just sticks up right there. So I'll put a picture of what that's for. And I'm going to do some videos of me shooting my handgun later, sometime this summer. So you can buy these. They're about 450 bucks. My buddy is a machinist. He custom made me this one. Didn't charge me a dime. So I gotta give it up to him. He did great on that. And then let's move on to the shooting brace. This is the shooting brace. And I ordered this from the same company I was just telling you about. It's in northern Indiana. I'll put a link to their website on this video. But this just braces onto your hand, and I modified it a little bit with some black tape, some rubber, which my tape is actually starting to come unraveled. I'm gonna have to do a little bit more modifying, it looks like. But there it is. So these are the key things that you're going to need if you want to go out and start shooting ARs. Obviously you need the rifle. But a good smooth trigger, a light trigger, you know, a brace, shooting brace if you need it, and the stock modification. All the other stuff is just, you know, if you want a laser, it's good. If you don't want a laser, you know, it's all preference, all that sort of stuff. So, you know, you can put a $500 optic on your rifle, you know, but I didn't do any of that. I don't have any problem shooting either. So this is my setup. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you got any questions, shoot me an email, leave a comment, and a lot more videos to come. Till next time.